Bear with me a moment. Let's see if this works.
In boxing, 130 pounds corresponds to the super featherweight.
Okay. Appreciate that, Siri. Appreciate that. Now, I really do wish I could catch up with Joe Brown. And you talk about a man who needs to be, you talk about off code. All right. Now, if I'm Austin, or better yet, Carmelo's defense lawyer, this is pretty much open and shut. I don't even want to go before a jury. I reject the jury trial. I straight up reject it. I'm going to take this straight to the judge, and I know exactly what to do. You're not going to sit up and tell me, and I'm not even going to sit up here and listen to you attempt to try to explain to me a justified battle between a 220-pound kid and a 130-pound one. It's not happening. A lot of people try to make a great issue over the fact that they were football players. For that, I would bring in an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator. And I would, number one, say, Anthony, you really had no business playing football. Texas is a big boy state. You know, they do everything big in Texas. I don't know what you would be doing on the football team. Now, I can understand track, but like the best you could do athletic wise is like tennis, golf, swim team, something like that. Like the only position you can play at 130 pounds is like defensive back. When it comes to defensive back, the guy that you're going to tackle most of the time is a wide receiver. That is the smallest, lightest guy on the offense. The vast majority of the time that the running back, who's probably going to be 50, 60, 70 pounds heavier than you, when he break through the defensive line, okay, you're going to be the one that got to get him. But typically there's going to be one or two linebackers sitting back deep, and you also got the strong safety and the weak safety. So technically, this very small person has to be assisted by upwards of 2 or 3 other people. The vast majority of the tackles that a DB makes that are not of the wide receiver are assist tackles. If you take a 130-pound dude and put him, man, offensive linemen are anywhere from 250 to 350. If I'm playing against a team that puts a 130-pound linebacker against my 200, 250, 300, 350 dudes, get the fuck out of here. I'm not even going to put a wide receiver on the field. I'm going to just run the ball every time. These dudes stupid. They got these little featherweights. They got these super featherweights out there. We can run the ball. Just run them over. As a matter of fact, we ain't gonna even have to run the ball too many times. It's kind of like the third run, that's it. You ain't got nothing but the offense. You ain't got nothing but a bunch of 220-pound dudes just knocking a bunch of 130s out the way like bowling pins. That's not how football works. Now, when it comes to pro boxing, I would bring in a boxing professional, Teddy Atlas, and basically say, look, this dude, Austin Metcalf, is around the weight of Mike Tyson when he became the youngest heavyweight champion ever. Officially, he is a heavyweight. He's only 20-something pounds lighter than Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury beat Deontay Wilder twice. Deontay Wilder is about 225, 230, something like that. Commissioning a fight, okay, to give you an example of these guys, right? Floyd Mayweather retired at the 150 to 154 range, right? But Floyd Mayweather is actually a light fighter. He's really about 135. He put on about 15 to 20 pounds to fight at 150, right? Now, you can commission a fight between super lightweight Floyd when he was at his natural weight, which is not a very big dude, and Tyson Fury. Man, get the hell out of here. You are commissioning an act of murder. That's all that's going to be. Tyson Fury can sit up there with one hand behind his back. And I mean that literally. He can sit up there and take blow after blow from Floyd and just sit up there and taunt and tease and wind it up. I ain't got to hit this dude but once. I ain't got to hit him but once and call the ambulance, okay? And then, like I said, IBF, IBA, Olympic Boxing Commission, they are not going to commission ever a 220-pound person to fight a 130. It's just illegal in every branch of professional fighting. It doesn't matter if you're talking about kickboxing, MMA, UFC, professional boxing. It's just not going to happen. It's not legal. Manny Pacquiao, he's a damn good fighter. Manny Pacquiao is a beast time 10 for his weight class. If you put Manny Pacquiao in that ring against Deontay Wilder or Evander Holyfield, just imagine Evander Holyfield at younger. You know, he's an old man now. But do y'all remember Evander Holyfield? If you're really into boxing, when Evander Holyfield was around about 25 or 30, man, get your ass out of here. You can put Manny Pacquiao in the fucking ring with Evander Holyfield you want to. Mike Tyson was reduced down to trying to nibble on Evander Holyfield's ear. What the fuck you think he's gonna do to Manny Pacquiao? You know, so I'm gonna just keep it real with you. Did I have, if I'm Anthony, you know, did I have any reason to fear for bodily harm? Yes. Look at this dude. And then it's not about a tent or whether or not I got a knife even, really. Okay, there was a stabbing in Potomac, Washington just today. Or just yesterday, I think. And the kid that did it, you know, he's being charged with, it's something like malicious use of, it's called malicious wounding, okay? All right, they didn't even mention the fact that he bought the knife, because from the video, he's being jumped on. Even though the kid is only 1 year older, the kid is kind of bigger. I would say that the kid is only a little bigger. He looks 10, 20 pounds bigger. And this 15-year-old kid just pulled a knife and jabbed the hell out of his ass. The kid didn't die. He was just laying in the hall bleeding and screaming, you know, and I hate to see that, you know, because somebody would be badass, but trust you me, getting your ass shot or gashed up will humble you real quick. I done seen dudes go from bouncing around like a complete badass to yelling like a total bitch. I kid you not. But that would be my defense if I was Karmelo's lawyer. This is threat of bodily harm. And without boxing, okay, you commission a fight between young Evander Holyfield, 25 or 30-year-old Evander Holyfield. I wouldn't give a damn if you made Floyd Mayweather 19. You are commissioning an act of murder, period. I'm straight up telling you, man. You can't legally do that. And on a football field, it generally tends to be that somebody like Austin would have been a linebacker. I'm thinking a linebacker. And the main people that he's going to be pushing and shoving up against are dudes anywhere. They would be about his same size to maybe 40 or 50 pounds heavier. When you run into the super duper big boy teams, big country fed dudes out the country, yeah, maybe there will be one or two dudes on those teams who will probably be at about 300. And that's going to be a nightmare for him because that person is already at NFL weight. But unless you're a monster, you're probably going to get pushed around by some big 300-pound hippo blob, you know. But, you know, it's an unfortunate situation, you know, that the guy lost his life. It's very fucked up, you know. The whole thing shouldn't have just happened because what people are doing is making all type of deals about these details and this, that, and the third, right? And I'm still very interested to see what happens in this Casey Allison case because so much came out. And I'm talking about the silence of the media is beyond devastating because I think they know what's going to happen. Kaysen planned on getting into a fight All his friends and everybody done already said it. You planned on getting into a fight and then brought a knife to school. That's premeditated, bro. And then to make it even worse, you followed the guy into the bathroom. That's super premeditated. And then on top of that, he took your little white girl, your little white girl. You up there fighting your butt off for this white girl, and she's telling you to chill, and he just couldn't deal with it and got a knife and provoked some stuff on a day that he pre-planned the fight and ended up taking out, that guy Joe Ramirez. So I'm very interested. I mean, I am super interested to see what happens because, boy, I'm telling you, the news media, they have eliminated that case. You can't hardly get too much information on it. You can get a little something, but not much. I tried to see if I could get a live airing of it. And they got these completely irrelevant cases that they putting on YouTube. I'm like, man, ain't nobody looking at none of this random ass bullshit nowadays, bro. Show us Case and Allison. We want to see what happens. Because that's another thing. Like, I would be sitting up, if I'm Anthony's lawyer, like, are you kidding me? Fuck no. I will sue the entire court system. We just had a guy acquitted down there in Belton. I'm talking about this dude bought a knife to school, was planning on getting into a fight, followed another person into the bathroom, and he was acquitted? Get the fuck out of here. And then they're the same size. You done already got your butt whipped. And you done bought a knife? Hell no. So I'm going to just say, a good lawyer, if I can sit up here and make this argument, man, a good lawyer should get out. At first, I thought he might do 10 years. This should be an acquittal. And I hate to have to say it, I don't hate Austin, man, because I went to his Twitter account. He seemed like a cool dude. I honestly say that. He seemed like a cool dude. He retweeted a lot of fellow black players that were also prospects, so, and he's in pictures with a bunch of little black athletes with all they look, hell, as a matter of fact, many of the athletes he's in pictures with damn near look like Karmelo, tragically and sadly, but, I'm not going to say he was a bigot. He could have been a bit of a bigot, but who knows? But, he didn't mind sharing other black athletes on his page. It's just very unfortunate that this happened, okay? And for the record, we are not living in the 1960s. There's a whole generation, new generation of black people that will fuck you up. And look at the video I did yesterday about that leader in Africa. It used to be that they had this venerated ideal of white people. But after looking at white folk in their country for 200 years, engage in analery and display that you're grossly imperfect, you're very nasty, you're mean, and your presence here just doesn't benefit us. These new leaders are like, man, fuck your white presence. Get your bitch ass out of here and get ready to pay us everything that our shit is worth. And there are some countries that then pass laws, no more gold leaves this country, period. That's why the white folk had to grab that black general. Same thing with the white man up there at the White Lives Matter protest in Frisco. They've got to sit up there and get a nigga to sit up there and represent their racist viewpoints. That's how you know that your positions are weak and that you can't stand on them. You have to find weak peasantly betas from within the other group that you hate to come out and spew your point because you just ain't got the backbone nor the foundational principle to really stand up on your point. All right? In other words, you're a weak-ass man with a very weak-ass mission that isn't really justified within your mind. Anyways, rest in peace, man, to Austin. And I hope this turns out pretty good for Karmelo. Right now, it's looking like it's just looking like it should. Anyways, thanks for listening. I'm out.